This show is brought to you by NMDC Group.
Oil prices rise on concerns over a war spillover, and Exxon posts a 54% profit drop. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Oil prices rose more than $2 a barrel today as investors priced in fears of an escalation of regional conflict which could disrupt oil supplies. It comes after U.S. fighter jets struck weapons and ammunition facilities in Syria, and as projectiles hit two Egyptian Red Sea towns today. Brent crude futures for December rose more than $2, just shy of $90 a barrel this afternoon. The West Texas contract for December climbed just under $2 to over $85 a barrel. Exxon Mobil has posted Q3 profits of $9.1 billion. It's a 54% drop from a record earnings period 1 year ago, but up from the prior quarter as oil prices recovered. Earnings at America's biggest oil producer have benefited from strong crude prices and post-pandemic demand for gasoline and for diesel. Eni's Q3 net profit, meanwhile, plummeted 67% year-on-year to $2.02 billion. The figure was still higher than predicted by analysts, though, who had forecast a profit of $1.73 billion. Like its competitors, the Italian energy giant benefited last year from the spike in oil and gas prices linked to the war in Ukraine, posting a record net profit of $14.57 billion. The situation changed, though, in 2023 with oil prices dropping. YoY saw moderate sales growth for the first 9 months of this year, recovering after its business was hit hard by U.S. sanctions and the pandemic. The Chinese telco giant saw revenue rise 2.4% year-on-year to $62.4 billion. Its net profit margin came in at 16%. YoY has for years been the subject of an intense tech standoff between China and the U.S., with Washington warning its equipment could be used for state espionage, an allegation it denies. Russia's central bank raised its key interest rate by a higher than expected 200 basis points to 15% today. It's hiked borrowing costs for the fourth consecutive meeting in response to a weak ruble and stubborn inflation pressure. The central bank has now raised rates by 750 basis points since July. The bank also drew attention to increasing government spending as Russia pours fiscal resources into the defense sector and ramps up production of military supplies. Let's take a look now at today's Forbes RealTime Billionaires ranking, which tracks the daily wins and losses of the world's wealthiest people. Our biggest winner today is the Adani Group's Gautam Adani. He's up $1.3 billion and now with net wealth of $50.7 billion. Our second biggest winner today is Indonesian petrochemical billionaire Prajogo Pangsu, up $1.3 billion with net wealth of $15.8 billion. And our third place winner is bottled water mogul Zhong Shanshan. He's up $1.6 billion now with $62.2 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest Billionaires news. And OpenAI says it's building a team to oversee what it calls frontier AI models. It classifies these models as highly capable with potentially dangerous abilities in categories like cybersecurity and nuclear threats. The team will be responsible for monitoring the OpenAI models to keep them in line with safety guardrails. OpenAI wants to look out for what some experts refer to as extinction-level threats, like pandemics and nuclear war. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.
This show is brought to you by NMDC Group.